Welcome to the One Harvest Podcast. Aaron, Kyle, myself are the hosts. Today we got a super dope guest. He's the brand manager, director of sale of Woodwide Craft Cultivation. He's a 5-time flower judge for the Emerald Cup. He's also been a speaker in multiple cannabis events all over the U.S. Joe Sullivan, thank you so much for being here today.
Oh, thank you guys. Appreciate that, David.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here, brother.
Hey, grateful, bro. You brought a bunch of flower for us today to
Yeah.
try. Super stoked for that. Let's get into how you first started smoking cannabis, selling cannabis, got into the brand, and
Sure.
yeah,
My mom. I started
I
out
love
young,
that.
right? I got
Family.
in the game real early. My mom used to sell weed when I was a kid,
hey,
like a lot of people in the industry, right?
Yes,
I
sir.
would help her on the triple beam and all that kind of stuff.
Hey.
And then there's a natural progression. I grew up in a small little town called Cobb Mountain
mhm.
up in Lake County. My mom's friends were friends with Eddie Lepp, and we used to go out there when I was a kid and go play around on the farm and stuff when I was a kid. And I didn't know I was going to be going into my whole life, but I made the change early and left that double life and went straight into retail and to
Nice.
Mercy Wellness and started buying there and was the director of procurement there for the last 9 years.
And now you were at Woodcraft,
Woodwide, yeah.
sorry, Woodwide.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
a small farm. I used to actually buy bulk from them for Mercy for a long time. Their
Okay.
names are Mikey and Ryan.
Yeah,
They've been up in Fort Bragg for 30 years, friends for that
Sweet.
long as well.
I love
Most
that.
people know Mikey
too.
as Mendo Mikey. He's known as like a breeder, pheno hunter. I used to showcase his work for a long time, buying it. When they were starting their brand and I had left Mercy, they weren't quite ready for me yet, but they just launched. And so I took over as director of sales,
sweet,
brand management, helping them with a little bit of everything right now.
sweet. And they're indoor cultivation, correct?
Indoor, yeah, 10,000 square feet, right on the water by the ocean, right there in
Nice.
Fort Bragg.
Get that
yeah, it's
cold
gorgeous. Yeah, it's
that cold air
gorgeous.
coming through
Yeah,
at night.
yeah,
yeah.
you guys, you're bringing that in, obviously, I'm guessing.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's in soil, hand trimmed,
Oh,
Hey.
small batch, 20, 30 pound batches. And so it's nice. You get the turnover. It's something that I've been looking forward to bringing out for a while.
What do
Yeah.
you guys have right now that's coming to?
Right now, that's live on the market. We have our Funkyard Dog, which is a Pluto cross. We have a Cowgirl Cut, that's something that
Cowgirl
Mikey
Cut.
bred. That's something that he named as well.
Okay.
It's his in-house stuff that
I
he
like
likes.
that.
Sativa.
Yeah.
We have the Viper cookies, which is a lot of people that know Mendocino. That was around for a long time, but they were always mostly on the bulk side, right? And so there's a lot of people that used to white label and have their product out there, but people didn't know about them. So now we're bringing it in their own branding, and I'm super stoked for it.
Yeah, that's sweet. I love how he's breeding different strains together and coming to his own fruition of cannabis. Being a 5-time flower judge for the Emerald Cup, what'd you bring us today? You got 30
Got a-
jars
got a
right now.
bunch of things
You were
down
saying
there.
earlier that you have 300 jars at home.
Yeah.
Let's go over that.
So yeah, I'm fortunate enough to have been an Emerald Cup judge for the last 5 years.
Respect.
They make us resubmit every year, right? And there's a lot of worthy applicants, so it's a blessing to be a judge.
Yeah.
This year, I think there was like 300 strains, a little under, maybe 290 something.
Mhm.
They break them up into 7 different categories, and they're all categorized by different terpene class. And then the judges get these blank jars with the terpene class identified on top, and then we get to go through our scoring criteria and judge it. I brought a handful of indoor samples for you guys to take a look at today.
Sick.
Obviously, David, I know how much you want to be a part of the Emerald Cup,
Yeah,
and I think you can make a valuable asset to the team as well.
Respect. Thank
But I definitely wanted to get you guys a look at the flowers, see how we go around it, and see if you had any questions.
you. Yeah, definitely. My first question is, where do you start?
Oh, man. Okay, so this year I started with indoor because it was the largest category. There was a little over 100 entries. I
Wow.
figured it was going to take me the longest to get through, and so I figured I'd tackle that one first.
Yeah.
And I love gas profiles, and so I always start with the yellow jars.
Same.
That's
Hey.
kinda-
So the colors mean something.
They do, yeah,
Okay.
like they do. The blues are classified for your dessert strains. Those would be like your gelatos, things like runts, things like that would be some names that you'd probably identify with that terpene class.
Okay.
Your OGs are going to be, it could be a lot of different things. You could be like Kush mints, things that have more of those styles like OG,
Let's
SFV.
say OG is like a wide variety.
Exactly. Yeah. So it covers a large range, but for the broad spectrum, it would just be like something that you would think, man, that's gassy. You'd find that in the yellows. Those are predominantly what I think was in the box I brought today. And I even brought one of the Sweet Dreams classification. And those are ones that are going to be like rich in linalool, lavender, things that are going to be a little more relaxing. And they classify that as the Sweet Dreams class. And yeah, those are 3 that are identified out of the 7.
This one hasn't been open yet.
No, I tried. There's some in there that haven't been open yet. I try to get my nose on them multiple times a day. I go back to them and am I still smelling that? Things like that.
I don't want to mess you up on that one. So
No, please feel free to open them. These are all getting judged today by me, so that's why I brought them over because these are the ones that I'm working on today. So
this is your homework.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the best. I mean, sure, it's a blessing. It's a blessing.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, before like, where do you start? I think it's more so like when you receive them, you receive like your list of classifications, and then you just know, okay, this color falls under this profile.
Yeah, the Cup's done a good job of building all of this kind of infrastructure out for the judges, and so you're given all the information beforehand on how the flower is going to be separated and delineated by terpene class, what your scoring classifications are. All the judges get together. You have your aroma, you have appearance. It's kind of what we were talking about off camera. It's really important that when you're getting together and you're looking at the larger format jars and samples, that you're scoring them then, right? And then we also meet again for a retreat to go over them again because you always want to double check. And then we're arguing and fighting. People are fighting over strangers' flower we don't even know about. And so the debate is real. We were together last Saturday for 9 hours. And that was mostly just smelling, looking, notes. Maybe take a couple that you want to try and smoke just to get a taste of it. But mostly it's like intense note taking, a lot of talking, a lot of smelling, a lot of, hey, smell this, smell that. What do you think about this? That's
how do you guys usually smoke? Do you guys volcano? You guys vaping? What do you?
Papers. We smoke. Papers only? We try. Setting's important. We all try to smoke out of the same exact.
I was gonna say because you want everything to, like the paper wise to be all the same.
Yeah, for me, everything consistent, as thin as possible. OCB is one of my favorites. I like them. I like those slams. And then Raw is the sponsor this year. I got to shout them out. They're the sponsor for the Emerald Cup for the judges kits. Yeah. And they have a new one. It's the ethereals, and that's probably one of the lightest papers I've seen from them. So, and those are really nice.
Sweet.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I love how organized it is too. Shout out to the Cup for that.
Yeah.
They've taken some time.
I think it's good. Like no labels. You don't know where the farm.
I just love it.
Yeah, there's a lot of misconceptions, I think, on how it comes to the judges. Obviously, we all like to think we know what we're smoking, and I'm no different, but it comes just like this. I like to take notes. A lot of the other judges do, and then we're just as eager as everybody else sitting there waiting for the awards to be announced.
Totally.
Yeah.
And then especially when I was a buyer, right? Because I'd be sitting there with my notepad, like, okay, I'm going to go up there and ask them, hey, is that for sale? I'd love to buy some of that. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that coming up here soon.
It's really neat seeing them this way because I didn't know exactly what they looked like when you got them, and I think
or how much you get of each one.
Yeah, it's just nice seeing how you really have no clue at all.
Yeah, it's nice too.
Keeps it very fair.
It's nice when you want to break things up. You have different type of things that help, whether you're smelling coffee grounds or you're cleansing your palate in a number of different ways. But the reason why I love the classification even more is if you start getting tired of the desserts, you're like, hey, I'm going to need a break. I'm just going to go check something completely out on the opposite end of the spectrum. It's really good for your palate. And sometimes you find a lot of gems that way.
Yeah.
All flour is different when it comes to like sweetness and tart, as in like a wine and like a dry type of smoke or taste. What's your go-to? And because that is your go-to, how do you get away from that to be fair to the other farms?
Sure. You got to kind of check your biases at the door when you're judging the cup. Even if there's strains you're like, oh, that's not my favorite, or man, this wasn't cured properly in my opinion, or maybe it was over nuded and I wouldn't smoke that if it was my everyday occurrence. The farmers work super hard. Everyone at the Cup works super hard. We all take the job super serious, and so we owe it to them to score that out to its fruition, because it can come down to a 0.5 score whether you make it in the top 20 or not, as we know what an Emerald Cup award win can do for a brand. And
for sure.
So it's I don't think we take that lightly. So it's serious, but it's fun.
Yeah, for sure. That's how you're supposed to live life, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I feel like that's the whole industry for the most part. It's serious but fun.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
And hey, look, the farmers are there, right? At the end of the day, we're at the award show. They're there.
Yeah, you're talking
and they're going to come up and ask you
what
was going on, right? And so Nikki and Swami are always on us to take our notes, right, and make sure that they have some talking points and some different descriptive things that they can use to help elevate the experience at the award show. So that's a lot of fun. Yeah.
How cool.
Emojis.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I picked out one out of like the four.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got 115.
That one with that purple sticker. You smell that one, dude?
Purple. I'm thinking that's more daytime, so that's why I picked that.
Yeah. All right, well,
he needs a little work.
The front right. Yeah.
Yeah, you should go for it. I think you should break this one up.
Okay.
Yeah, these have all been scored on appearance and aroma already. I'm just waiting for onset and cure, which obviously the taste and cure, all that's connected. So some of those scores can change after you smoke it. But I wait for a cure and onset fully until after it's been smoked.
Yeah.
But
what's the purple mean again?
Sweet dreams.
Okay.
So that's going to be more of like your little lules, like
this smells
chilling.
like a jelly bean in the
Yeah.
day. Have you ever?
Oh yeah, I remember
Yeah.
jelly bean,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Mhm.
And you'll see, and that's what I love about SC Labs, Alec Dixon, shout out. They're the ones that really help spearhead kind of the testing, the separation with the terpenes. We have an exotics class for that reason, because when you're going through and scoring your nose, your palate, you're picking up on all of these secondary terpenes that might not, when you're reading the test, it won't necessarily tell you that. And so we reclassify things all the time, or we'll separate them and say, hey, this is different than everything else. And then those get judged against each other. So that's what that exotics class is. Perfect example is, we're calling it that citrus. It's that trop cherries, trop cookies.
Tropical.
You're seeing a lot of that in this year's entries across the spectrum, and you're seeing them in multiple terpene classes. And so to us, that sings, okay, this needs to be its own class now, and they need to be judged against each other. And so it's all in an effort to continue to evolve this competition and to make it better.
Just be more accurate.
Especially as we're learning more on the science side, right? I'm not a scientist, but I do nerd out on this stuff, and they do a good job of getting us the information.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's the hardest thing you've came across being a judge?
Oh man, the hardest thing
Yeah.
is smoking the weed you don't want to smoke.
One of the jars, honest, I did smell, and it smelled a little aged.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
really?
sure.
I
Yeah.
smelled one that was a really green, like it almost needed a cure a little bit more.
Yeah, and look, this is a lot of these things too are indicative of the recreational market, because this all comes from the rec market. But yeah, I think that's another thing. Like we can go into, we could have a whole other episode on supply chain.
Oh,
For sure.
Supply chain is a shit show.
Yeah.
All
But
aspects.
but the way that they have this tied down, they have really tight SOPs. Like you said, you saw the jars; they're sealed.
Yeah.
Every single jar comes sealed, protected in a box, and then I have a nice spot at my house where we keep them.
Yeah.
Right where they need to be while we're judging them.
Organized, yeah.
Yeah.
For
You want to
sure.
make sure you're not keeping them in a hot room.
Yeah,
Things like
they're nice and
common
cool.
sense. You want to make sure they're cool, dark spot. Try to get through them as fast as you can. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be very good at the flower.
No.
No.
What would you'd be
I-
an edible, huh?
I would do edibles all day.
So that's like I'm like
You'd like all of them.
I would love all of
You're
them.
terrified.
I would love everything.
No. Hats
Flower,
off.
I wouldn't be able to I would get high and then be like, let's do another one. And I would be bad at it.
There's so
but good at it
Takes a
too.
certain person.
the dabbers and the edibles. I'm like, how?
I couldn't do the dabbing for
the
sure.
oils would be
Edibles?
rough.
All day.
Yeah, I
I
don't.
could-
Some people just process it differently. I think.
Yeah.
with their
Yeah.
liver and their stomach biology. But I know those edibles they're getting in. They're like, how would you?
How
I guess
can
I'm
you
eating
do
one of
that?
these
Yeah.
and fall asleep for 6 hours and come
Say,
back.
wake up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that though.
Shit.
Yeah. And then it's fun. We get to see when we go to the last little couple days, we do our retreat to pick the winners. They have a category for most innovative product, and that's when
Oh.
all the judges get to see that kind of stuff and put their hands on it, and we get to judge for that too. So excited to see what this year will bring.
Oh, neat.
You were speaking about time with the edibles. With time with the flower, what do you give yourself in between?
Man, so it's hard. So I
Depends.
have a very high tolerance, right? And some would think that's probably not fair to even some of the flower, right? And
Yeah.
so I think that's why it's important to judge it out on its merits in every single category. And a lot of the times for me, my effect and onset is completely tied to whether I like the way it tastes or smells.
Yeah.
So it's aromatherapy. So like for me, a lot of the times, and that's why the testing to me is weird and how it's gone. We all know about that. But
Yeah.
for me, if it tastes good and I'm happy, that makes me happy. I'm
Yeah,
happy.
for
And
sure.
there's varying levels of that. And
Yeah.
the more those tie together, the happier and higher I am.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean. But it's like anything else. If you feel like when you're getting down to the nitty gritty and you're judging these things and you're like, man, okay, this one hit harder. You want to wait until you're completely sober, palate's clean. Like I haven't smoked yet. I'm ready to smoke that one to really see what the onset is for that. And then there's a bunch of those that when you're done judging your samples, you have a list of things that you want to try at the judges retreat just one more time to get a glance on structure. Maybe it's like between a 0.5 of these other two and you got to go look at them square.
Use
Like,
one.
it's stressful sometimes,
Yeah.
but
That's a huge
And then you
impact
smoke a little bit, and then you're not
to
stressed
that,
anymore.
Yeah.
that person.
but you get 15, 20 people in the room and everyone's talking. It's okay. We got to have a couple people wrangle us up. So
Yeah.
Swami and them do a good job.
I was gonna
keeping
say
us-
the OGs come in
they
handy.
do. They
Yeah.
do. They take care of it. Yeah, exactly. Which-
Everybody's all excited.
Yeah, 1,000%. And then also too, we want to. it's down to the wire at that point. Those meetings always last 12, 13 hours.
Commitment. Man.
Coming home late
awesome.
tonight, honey.
Yeah, last one was a smoke off. It came down to a smoke off at the very end. It was like midnight.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun though. Those memories are awesome.
Explain a smoke off.
So when it finally gets down to the scoring's there, everything's tied, and then you just got to go to. Okay,
are you guys
one
sharing
last
joints, or is it you guys?
Everyone gets their own joint to go off of there. Yeah, because that's a whole other thing, right? You're passing a joint. Not everyone knows how to smoke a joint. You get hot, it starts burning. Like for me, I'm a very particular smoker with my joint, and like let that thing chill, let that cherry cool down, sip it. So everyone, you just roll those up, and then it's a blind smoke off. Like what was the last year, right? We had 2 finalists for best in show. Judges were fighting. We finally came down to everyone take a break. We're gonna come back. They had a separate person roll these things up, and then
make the choice.
Some people that voted for the thing originally after they smoked it voted
jump
for
ship
the other thing, and then everyone just looking at each other. Okay, that's the winner. Then
that's
everyone,
the one.
Yeah, so it's
oh my gosh,
wow,
yeah,
how stressful.
Yeah, and then we all go party afterwards.
And you're all friends.
Yeah, and then that second day, all the judges come up. Yokeo Ranch sponsors it. They let us all come up there and have a good time.
Hell yeah!
So shout out to them, and we all have a blast together.
Yeah. Beautiful venue out there.
Yeah, fancy, dude. Yeah. Gorgeous. Yeah,
what a great place in California to test
cannabis. That's incredible.
Cannabis, smoke cannabis.
Yeah, they found out it was smarter just to lock us in a room for 2 days until we got the winner at the end. We got to make sure we get this right.
Yeah.
So,
for sure. Let's light this thing up.
Light it up.
Another thing we like to talk about in here is more the industry and what it's becoming. I know you've been in it for a long time, and there's a lot of things changing, as in price-wise, as in testing labs getting in trouble, a lot of gray areas when it comes to hemp and cannabis and
THCA
and
all the
different
things.
Sure.
Yeah, what's your outlook on that, and how do you think
the future too?
Yeah, the future looks for cannabis.
Oh my goodness, that's a loaded question. What they just declassified to Schedule 3, so it's like
they're saying
they say they're going to.
But it's like, what's that going to entail? It's going to
Yeah.
be a
They've
lot
said
of
that
fucking
before, though,
underlying
also,
weird things.
so-
I got into an argument the other day with my buddy about it because it was like I felt like it's almost like you're dangling a carrot, but then it's also a discredit to like everyone that came before myself or any of us that worked so hard to get us to the point where we're at now. And so you're in this catch-22 of it's great, but at the same time, like this should have happened a long time ago, and it should be completely declassified and
day late and
so,
a dollar short.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's important to take what we now got and then try to push forward with it. As far as like where we're at with THCA labs, all this other kind of stuff, I just had this conversation yesterday with a buddy of mine who's been in the industry a long time. This was an illicit market for a lot longer than it's been a legal market. There's a lot of different players in this game. A lot of them come from that side of things. There's a lot of gangsters, a lot of people out here trying to do things shady. Then you have like your corporate raiders who are coming in doing that too. And there's a giant vacuum here with a lot of money, and everyone's just trying to grab for their buck, right? And then you have people like ourselves and others who are like trying to fight the good fight. They're just trying to figure out how they can activate and get together to make the change happen. And so that's where I'm at with it. It's tough. If you think about it too hard, you can get depressed. But then at the same time, you got to be thankful for where we're at. We're sitting here in a podcast. We're smoking.
It's come a long way.
It's
come a long way.
Right?
A lot of people ask how I'm doing, and I just tell them grateful.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'm grateful.
Yeah.
So grateful.
Absolutely.
And just picking the right direction, and cannabis has always been in that direction. And so I've been very grateful to continue that journey with that. And that tastes really good.
It definitely tastes good.
Pretty smooth.
Super smooth. It has a nice terp ring. I will definitely be going back to this one later.
Hey.
But this tastes very nice. You picked out a good one for the first run, bro.
Here we go. Here we go. This is pretty fun. I'm excited. I'm not
excited.
They're cheesy.
You're so giddy.
Yeah, and like I said,
fuck the podcast. I'm just gonna smoke weed the rest of the day.
Yeah, I have some people coming over tonight to come over and get their nose on it.
Nice.
Charlie, my partner over there at Mercy, that's my
Great.
brother, great person. He's got a great nose, and so I'm looking forward to hanging out with him tonight, get his perspective. I just keep my mouth shut, try to see what other people scope out and pick out, and then sometimes I'm like, "What are you thinking?" And then other times I'm like, "Damn, I missed that. How the hell did I miss that?" And I try to play it off like I didn't miss it. Oh yeah, no, I already scored that one, but no, it's a lot of fun. You got to come through, David. You got to come check it out.
I will. I definitely will. What's a good gassy one? Where's our gassy category?
The yellow
It's all
category,
the yellows?
the yellows are going to be your gas categories.
Okay, because
There's
that
all
last
sorts
yellow
of stuff,
wasn't.
and that's
so
the thing.
gassy.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. It's a wide spectrum.
So.
You'll see GMOs in that. You'll see permanent markers in that. It's like there's only a handful, I'd say, in there that where you open it, you're like, is that
True,
motor breath? Oh,
yeah.
oh my God, what is that? Is
That's
that some fucking-
spicy,
Is that what? No, like the real Kush. There's a handful in there, and then you'll go to break it up. You'll go to smoke it, and then it won't translate. It just doesn't translate. You know, you're like, damn. So, but you wouldn't know that until you get down there. So you got to get in there and you got to smoke
get in
it.
there.
Yeah.
So I see here we got some type of white gray ash. What do you think about that? Do you guys judge off of it?
No.
Thank you.
Cigarettes burn white, don't they?
Facts.
Cigarettes burn white, right?
Yes, they do.
For sure.
Okay. I did notice you said a little resin ring.
Yeah, I like to see it sweat. I like to see a little teardrop coming down, letting you know what's coming for your lungs. But yeah, no, it's the white ash. People associate that with smoothness, and I think that's a lot to do with marketing, and then the trap market and CalMag and everything else they do to make it do that. But that's
definitely CalMag.
Buddy of mine this week says cigarettes burn white. I'm like, I know, dude, I know. So it's mostly just comes down to how you cure it. Certain strains, just depending on the esters and the thiols and different things that are in there, burn naturally harsher than others. Doesn't mean it was grown wrong or the medium was messed up.
True.
But it just depends on the strain. But yeah, I think people just associate that with a smoother smoke, and then but yeah, it's not always the case.
So that is smooth.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
That's
nice.
very
yeah,
smooth.
fan.
it's very tasty.
It's
You
very
run a
tasty.
nice bar.
Thank you. I'm trying to. I don't know. I don't even know.
You're like overthinking it.
Yeah. Like if I was gonna smoke it myself and I'm gonna test it myself,
Sure.
good. You could put it
All
right there, unless you guys want some more.
No, I'm perfect.
Yeah, I'm gonna try some more.
Yeah, I brought him to try it. Like I said, I got a.
That one tasted really good, but it wasn't
These
like
are
an
ready to be used.
overpowering
Exactly.
flavor. It was really nice.
Yeah, no, there's been some good ones in there though. I feel like it's nice to see some of the classics coming back.
That smells good.
But there is definitely I feel like a lot of permanent markers in these entries, and then I think, but that's what people are growing right now. So it's fun to see what the best of the best is.
Is that because it was like $5,000 a clone back in the day, or why is it permanent marker?
Some things pick up on, I think, a brand, and there's a hype train from the brand, and you get some media that comes behind it. Others, I think, are championed by contests like the Emerald Cup, where you see something won, the clones become popular, seeds, things like that, and then you start seeing all these different variations. Yeah. And then obviously, too, it's predicated on what's hitting all the different marks for the rec growers, right? They have to hit all these different marks for them to make money.
All the boxes,
it has to check all the boxes. Once they find a cut that does that, then you see that starts getting crossed with different things, and that's what you've seen with the.
It's kind of where it develops into new flavors.
Yeah. And even a couple years ago, when it was all ice cream cakes or it was all runts, it was still fun to find like the best of that is still fire. You're like ice cream cakes look played out, but if you find a fire ass ice cream cake, it is enjoyable as fuck.
The terps are nice, for sure.
Yeah, 1,000%.
There's just so much to choose from.
Yeah, throw me one of those.
Oh, this is literally.
I couldn't do
You're
it.
gonna mess me up.
Nothing.
It would stress me out.
I'll hand it to you because I want to smell both of them first.
It's important to stay on track.
Oh,
100.
I couldn't.
You don't want to fall behind.
Yeah, I bet you that's easy to do though.
Oh yeah, for sure. And look, everyone has jobs. Everyone has jobs, families. They're doing a bunch of different things, and so
distractions.
Yeah, and everyone's donating their time.
Yeah,
the cup doesn't make money. The judges are there on their own time. It's in stewardship.
It's a great community.
That's the best thing
stewardship
about
the plant.
So cool.
Yeah.
The cup's all about the plant. It's all about the farmer. It's all about spreading the love and helping each other out. Ever since we were kids at the fairgrounds.
It's great learning this side of it though. 'Cause this is stuff I didn't know about, and I just think it's so impressive. But I mean,
what goes down behind the closed curtain?
Yeah,
and all the different measures they do to keep it fun for you guys and super productive.
Good care of us.
Yeah, that's really.
I'm looking for
also
that,
giving
That's
like quality
really
feedback back to the farmers. They love that. They want to know what they can improve on.
Sure. And look, if you're trying to make the industry better, if you have a little tiny imprint, like a way to do that, you're like, oh man, this is fire. If we can shine a light on that, and then more people could smoke it, and then more people are enjoying it, then that's the whole goal.
Okay, so do you do all flower entered? Indoor, outdoor?
Yeah, there's 6 categories. So there's indoor, sun-grown, personal use, mixed light, greenhouse, and third-party certified, clean certified, right? So like, those are people that have met all the standards and specs for that type of growing style. So it's a lot of fun. Like I said, this is the most entries in indoor. That's why I started first. Other categories, a little bit smaller, but yeah, that's where we're at.
I love it.
Yo, DO6. That's that one.
All right.
Thank you. That's that one.
I love that.
We gotta try that shit.
Oh my god.
That's the smiles I'm looking for.
Let's go.
Smell it.
Smell it.
Oh yeah, I smelled that one.
Smell it.
Yeah, it smacked me in the face earlier.
Yeah, that's that shit.
It was right
there.
there.
When you were passing.
That one's gonna taste good.
Yeah,
for sure.
Okay. Let's see.
it's not gonna be my next one though.
What do you think
That's
that?
fine.
What do you think that is though?
Ooh,
I think maybe a Skittles cross.
It's got to me, and you could when you beat it up a little bit, you'll
I was
smell
gonna
it.
say
but
I'd like tear it up to really get in there.
that's a yellow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
So I'll
yellow.
have to mark that one. I'll make sure I mark that one when I leave. But to me, that's got the citrus kind
Very
of nose
much
to
so.
it.
For sure.
But that's in the gas terpene profile.
Yeah,
So
should
That's
that
weird.
be
what
in
you're-
the
That's
yellow?
interesting.
What that is, with not being too arrogant here, is like a Point Break, Trop Cherries, Trop Cookies.
Mm-hmm.
That's that tropical paradise, whatever you want to call it. That's that tropical. That's
Yep.
that citrus terp.
Exactly.
And we're finding it in a couple different of the categories, and that's why as we're identifying those, we're marking them, separating them, so then they can go up against each other. Because
So
as
do
we're
you
seeing
guys
more,
get
they
to
need their own
choose
class.
to reclassify, break out a small class if you guys are all coming together and finding that?
It starts with the testing.
Yeah.
As a barometer and a guiding mark.
Well, and that's how
right?
you're given them.
That's how we're giving
But then
them,
once
and
you
then-
guys are meeting and you're like, damn, this one's really pulling this
Yeah.
citrus terp.
Yep.
What do we all agree on? And then you can break off.
Sure, because the testing's not going to tell you what the monoterpenes are, and like monoterpenes are the terpenes that burn off at like past 69 degrees, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
like what you're smelling right now when you first open that jar is a monoterpene. There's 30 other terpenes in there that we can't smell that the test is picking up.
Totally.
Sometimes that'll pop higher than others, and that's why it gets classified in that. But then when you open and smell it, it's clearly something else, and that's why we'll meet as a group, agree, and then it gets separated. And then this year, because there's so many of them, they're going to be going up in their own category.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like candy gas, you get like that spicy fuel, but then you also get that sweet end. So you can kind of, it's like
candy
playing on
gas
both
is more-
sides.
Yeah, it's that sweet.
Yeah, you're like most of the yellows. You're like, oh man, hell yeah, there's gonna be hella OGs in there, and
And
it's
it's-
like biscotti and GMO.
Yeah.
Okay, there's some
Yeah.
gassiness.
I think
Yeah.
I found the gassiest one, and I don't want to be
Think
rude.
so,
Those ones
I
are
don't
want to be
those
rude.
Those ones are at the house, dude. I
Okay.
got
So,
you.
well, I was gonna say out of this group,
Yeah.
you know what
He's
I mean?
already pulled those ones.
Yeah, there's a lot of citrus here, and it's cool. It's all nice flower. I'm a terrible liar. Some of this should not be smoked. I won't play that. I can edit that.
Yeah.
No,
We went from
no,
I'm a
I'm just
terrible
sorry,
liar
like-
to like, let me hit
No,
the
hey,
gun.
real
I'm
quick.
just saying because there's some that are old, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
And but this one's gonna be nice
nice. Yeah, and like I said,
Some of you got to really get in there though.
for sure.
Like, kind of break it up to really get that true.
I'm sure
smell.
too. You see them and smell them and do all that judging side when you smoke.
so like perfect example, sometimes you'll pull when the cup was scheduled at a different time in the year. Everyone's trying to line
The
up to get
harvest-
their
oh,
best
yeah,
stuff.
that's right.
Everyone's trying to
When
get
they're
at that right time.
Yeah.
Feel that.
The reason why I think, in my own personal opinion, there's more indoor entries this year is because it was easier for
Sounds like
people
a
to
gym
time up with a harvest or
It's the
something that they
gassiest one of all
had
time.
in the market and in distro
It's
to
like
send to be
cocaine in there.
tested, as it was for like a sun-grown farm or somebody that grew fire-ass depths in the summer. That
That's
stored them
hard.
really well, and then they would have been
Yeah.
great in December, but then now we're looking at them in May.
What's easier to
So
store
true.
them well in
Right?
the winter in the snow up on the
For
mountain.
sure. But then
Everyone's on the snow though.
yeah, and look, there's
You put the Emerald
people.
Triangle. A lot of people up there in cold climates.
It's
where they
cold-
store
it's
their
colder up
product.
there.
Yeah,
I
it's
do got to
cold
give
out
a
there.
PSA though for the indoor people. So like
yeah.
when you're doing your entries, I would recommend get them in there. Make sure you're hand selecting stuff. But a lot of people send jars. Like they'll just send stuff from the that's at
Yeah.
their distro partner, and then the cup goes through, and they got to open all the jars, and
And
they got to put
rejar
everything in,
them,
and
yep.
put them in the big jar, and then they break up all the samples. But who knows what age when those were packaged and when they were grown from whenever they're entering them. And I always tell people like, if you're entering the cup, you're spending the money, you're putting in the flour, I would be hand selecting. If it was me, I'd be hand selecting every nug.
Yeah.
Boom.
It'd be in a big
Yeah.
jar, all in one large format. I would have someone drop it off. I would make
Make
sure.
sure-
That's
It's
the way I
hand
would do it.
delivered.
Full control
That's
of
the way
what's
I
going
would.
on in that.
Yeah,
jar.
and you can see, and look, it's the recreational part is part of it now. You'll see the stuff that's machine trimmed or has been overfed, and that's what I said in the beginning. There's
Yep.
the hardest part is like smoking the stuff you don't necessarily want to
Yeah.
smoke,
Yeah.
right?
Do you think some of these are machine trimmed?
Yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Damn.
absolutely.
What about tested? Are they tested before they get?
Everything's tested by SC Labs,
Okay.
and we don't know what the results of the tests are outside of what terpene
Profile?
class they've been
Mm.
profiled in.
I love that.
That's it.
Yeah, I like that.
Also, that keeps that
I mean, as long as
THC
it's clean and
bias out of it.
pesticide.
How many
Yeah.
people said they love GDP, right? GDP is like 18% THC.
Classic.
Yeah.
I love GDP.
But then,
It's like-
yeah.
That
people
flavor.
didn't
There's
know
one
that.
There's
you
that
know,
one
purple
in there that's
flavor.
kind of like it.
people didn't know that until they were told that's how you're supposed to shop. And so it's
Testing changed how people shop
sure.
Yeah.
And
incredibly, like
yeah.
just so much that it's so great to see that you don't get any of that, just the profiles.
Yeah, if you were to ask a retailer to run a sales report for you based on terpene percentage, it's a clear delineation from whatever tested at 31% is going to sell what tested for 30, and then so on and so on. And you're not a robot. You're not telling the difference between 29 and 31%, and both those numbers are bogus mostly anyways. And so it's for me, it's the full cannabinoid spectrum, like how much total cannabinoids are you having there? And where the terps are at, right? If it's 30% THC and 1% terps, that's biomass for me. I want to smoke the flower. I want it to taste good. So
absolutely, it's part of the experience.
Yep,
love that.
You get quite the experience.
Yeah,
I'm just blown away. I love it.
I'm trying not to lose track. So
Dave's over here.
I think you like that first joint was good, huh?
Yeah, the first one was good.
Yeah.
Oh, that was first smoke of the day too.
Yeah, so there you go. It's nice.
I knew that I could have something a little lighter like that based off the smell or the look or the taste.
We picked a sun-grown one. It was in the gas classification S39 or something, and I took 2 hits and it felt like it punched me right in the middle of the forehead and then just wrapped around my brain, and I was like, okay. Someone put in like old school headband or sour in this. I'm like, this is fire. And it held up, right? Like it had maybe had a little bit of the golding on it, but that little tiny bit of oxidization. But these guys obviously bucked this thing down for the competition, had it stored right. Like it was.
It's been waiting for that. Yeah. It's been waiting for that moment.
And personal use came out swinging this year. I always tell people you should enter. We know people that grow fire weed. They never fucking enter. I'm like, dude, enter the cup. Dude,
that's a great class.
You'd be surprised what people enter. You should enter the cup, everybody. Personal use is crushing this year. So I'm
personal use, Kyle.
Personal use.
Yes, sir. Stockpile is still stocking.
There we go.
Stockpile.
Yeah, do you guys do it based off seed or clone also? Do you break it down?
No, it's just flower, man.
No, it's just
matter
flower.
what.
Yeah.
But they do depth, they do outdoor, they do
the growing. We do the growing style.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much like how the growing environment is how it's separated.
But when it comes to judging flower, you can't really tell seed, clone, structure-wise.
Yeah, can you? Or
you can't.
No, sometimes.
Are you sure?
So I think people like to think
I don't think it's been tested enough.
No, but you can definitely tell when you think
should this be a new thing on the judging panel?
Someone entered like mixed light into sun grown, and you're like, let's check that. I don't know about that. There's definitely been some instances in the past where the judges have identified something and they've gone back to investigate and realized, oh yeah, that was not supposed to be there.
Wow.
Yep.
It happens.
It happens.
There's so much that goes into it.
There's a lot. Yeah.
I mean, from all aspects, it's impressive.
Yeah.
So from all the judges, what's the most desired effect, you'd say?
Oh man, I think that's truly subjective.
Like where you hit, like it just hits you, like in your chest. And that one's a hitter.
I think
a lot of people like go by taste.
I think that's everybody's gonna be so individual.
Yeah, everyone's different.
You know what I mean? Based off of what high makes them like the happiest. Because when you are like stoked off of your like what you're smoking and you're high and your environment, like you're gonna be higher and more chill and enjoy it so much more. It's
gonna bring up your energy and
definitely
put you on a higher frequency.
Yeah, definitely based on preference, right? And like we all have our biases and we tease each other about them, right? Like Alex from SC loves Jackson, loves those like the terpenolines, his thing.
Pine.
I like all sorts of flower. Terpenoline I love a lot, but for me, I love the gas. Like I'm more into the gas stuff. From when we're hitting it and when we're going through stuff, and you're like, oh yeah, that's smooth, and then you find one that just like chokes you out.
Yeah,
expando in your chest, but not harsh, but just like, and like and then just
feel it.
That's all I was getting to. I think that's like the most desired. I think.
Oh yeah, especially if someone has a high tolerance. If I start smoking it and all of a sudden I'm sweating, I'm like, oh,
you can tell right. You can tell right away.
I'm like, okay, damn, dude, okay. I'm like, all right, this one works.
My eyes are sweating.
This one is
exactly.
working.
There you go. Yeah.
I like this one. This one almost smells like that.
Which one was this?
I think it's important that people have a really strong like relationship with the plant previously, because like you said, with having a high tolerance, you're gonna be able to probably dissect what you're smoking so much more than like me, who's just gonna get high and be like stoked off the first hit.
Yeah, and sometimes you just know. Even if you're stoned, you're like, and you hit that and it has that, you're like, oh, well, I know that one's gonna be a hitter. I'm gonna go back to that when I can fully judge it. But like, the plant will tell you like pretty quickly. Oh yeah,
that's the
what
one.
I'm saying.
Put that one off to the side.
You can kind of tell right away.
Yeah. So I tell people when they come up, you guys can smoke these ones. I already went through those. These ones are mine.
Yeah. I mean, staying on top of it, how many do you have to sample daily, you'd say?
It varies, depends on if you get behind or not, right? Like we have a lot more time this year.
Yeah.
And so we have pretty much a full month until we meet together for the retreat. when we get down to the list our final 10s and 20s, get our list finalized. And so I have 4 more weeks, I think, 3.5.
So in total, how much time did you get?
A little over a month. A little over
like
a month.
30
A month.
days,
Yeah, like
30
5 weeks.
I couldn't do it.
300 strains,
Like
like
5
30
weeks.
days. Yeah.
It's been worse.
That's wild.
We've been cramped tighter than that, but no, this is plenty of time for us.
I'm not gonna lie. When I tried to become a judge, I was umping up my game on smoking. I was smoking breakfast, lunchtime, dinner time.
Yeah.
I was smoking just to get ready for it.
No, I'm at.
Yeah. And then I stopped.
Put yourself
And
in
then I was
training.
like, whoa, shit, okay, I need to slow down.
Yeah, you put yourself in training.
Yeah,
That's
I
amazing.
was.
Get
That's-
that tolerance level
that-
up.
I'll
man. You
start
have
doing that.
to.
But now though, weed is a medicine, so you can't abuse it.
No.
You have to treat it like a medicine.
Respectfully.
You have to respect it. So like when I work hard, when I get stuff done, I reward myself
Yeah.
with cannabis. You know what I mean?
For me, it's not the tolerance thing; it's my handles, right? Because like when I'm at the house or I'm in the car, I got my little bubbler, my road bubbler.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm getting ready for the cup, I'm like, I gotta get my handles going with the joints. So I'll start smoking joints, rolling joints, predominantly joints for the months leading up to it, just to get my skills right.
Get
Because
those bars right.
yeah, we're in a room full of killers, and you
Yeah.
don't want to be the one with
Yeah,
the sloppy
be
joint.
like, for
No,
real.
you do not want to be the one with the sloppy joint. And plus, it's
Now I
important.
got pressure.
Yeah. Plus, you
You did
want
good.
to. No, but you know how it goes. If they're rolled right,
You get
they're going to
roasted,
burn
man.
much better, but you don't
Yeah.
want them burning hot. So
Yeah.
it's important.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, David. What's next? What are you feeling over
I'm back on this one, on this purple one.
I
there? The
should've mixed it up
DO3
a
or
little bit.
the 06?
It was mixed up. We definitely mixed it up.
Let's try that 06.
Since the 06. Oh, you like that one? Okay. What do you think about this one?
You gotta be careful with the lids, right? Like, 'cause
So
if
they're
not-
all labeled.
Yeah, they're labeled
Oh,
on both
both
sides.
They did a
Yeah,
good
yeah,
job.
yeah.
Damn, I was gonna say.
All the things that
They
we've
thought
thought
of-
about
yeah, I was
over the
saying.
years of fine
D12.
tuning,
You guys are-
like
You can
Yep.
see you've worked the kinks out
Yeah,
along
yeah,
the way
like
for
I mean,
sure.
shout out
Yeah.
to them for sure because we used to get them in.
That's the one I was gonna roll.
in like
I like
plastic,
that one.
That one?
camera containers, and stuff
Yeah.
like that. It's like those aren't necessarily the best for keeping things
No.
airtight and fresh. And
This
so,
is
like,
great. They've got the pressure seals.
Yeah, and I wish I knew the sponsor. I wish I knew the sponsor for the jars, but they're like 100% recyclable. These
Sweet.
are like earth-friendly jars
Sick.
here, and
Sweet.
I wish I knew their name right now. I feel bad, but
I feel like
they are amazing.
I feel like they were maybe a company that won like top packaging
Yeah.
like a couple years ago.
Yeah,
Tree
he-
Hugger.
Yeah, thank you, Tree Hugger.
Tree Hugger.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Tree
Tree
Hugger.
Hugger.
respect.
Because I work
Saved
with
my
them a
ass.
lot.
You
Oh,
just
yeah.
saved my bacon. Right there. Okay,
So I
appreciate
worked
you.
with Tree Hugger in the past. I did an extensive line with them when I was at NorCal. So Tree Hugger, they're great.
Yeah, the judges
Yeah.
are blessed. We're spoiled rotten. They take good care of us for doing this and taking this serious.
I was like, I felt the seals on there. I knew those.
Yeah, they did. I mean,
I
every
recognize
single one
that.
sealed
Stuff,
tight. I'm like, okay, there we go.
Yeah.
So
Those
they
are
did
great.
Makes a difference when you're judging them.
I was like, I recognize that
that shit
jar.
dries out. It's rough.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, they're nice.
No, it's great. It's nice and consistent. The consistency keeps it so clean.
Are you guys gonna go to the cup? You guys
For
gonna
sure.
come
We
out?
are.
We
Yeah,
will be
you
there.
already know. Yeah,
Hell
we got
yeah.
the tickets. Yep.
Nice, dude. Yeah, it should
Yeah,
be
For
fun.
sure. Every year. It's different in Oakland.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, okay. I liked it when it was in our
It
backyard.
was so nice and
you know,
sanitized.
It was
Yeah.
so easy.
I can't speak for Tim and Taylor and all
Yeah,
them,
of course.
but I know
Yeah.
if they could have had it at the fairgrounds,
They
they would have.
definitely would have.
I know that for a fact
For
because
sure.
obviously we all know how much that place means to everyone that's gotten to go
Mhm.
there.
Mhm.
It is kind of cool though that everyone can make fun about Oakland, but bringing some life and some love to Oakland's not
For-
necessarily a
I
bad
think
thing.
it's great.
No,
Right?
For
100%.
sure, I agree.
Yeah, it's just
Well, it's like a community event.
Yeah,
More. So
yeah,
it's just that's
that
healthy.
place is historic too. I can't wait to go check
Mhm.
it out. So
Is
like,
it right next to
Hell
the
yeah.
water?
yeah, it's right
Yeah.
by
Okay,
Lake
so
Merritt.
I've
Yeah,
I've been
so-
there before. Okay.
Yeah, I want to go check it out. There's been like
The Warrior
world-class
parades were over
concerts
there,
there and
right?
yeah, I missed those though. I was watching the Warriors parades.
Yeah, I've been once.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
should be fun. I'm hopefully carpool in there, carpool over there.
Smart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was thinking about that.
Yeah, but no, it should be good. There's the speaker series looks lit. There's so many good people that are going to be speaking this year, and then obviously
Sweet.
entertainment's always fun. So
There's just so many to choose from. I would be terrible. I couldn't do it. This stresses me out enough watching you decide.
there's so many more.
What-
boxes.
I know that's like
Which one's
this
leading?
little fraction.
what's
I couldn't
like-
handle it.
What's like on your mind right now? Okay, I'm really leaning towards the citrus one. I'm really leaning towards the candy or
There's-
gassy. You
There's
keep
a
saying
couple.
gas.
There's a couple. Obviously, so far from what I've gone through, I'm not finished yet with this category. But so far, what I've gone through, there's a couple standouts in every category. There's the Jack and Hayes category, which predominantly people like to make fun of. Oh, Jacks, this and that. There's There's some killers in there this year. I think there's some old school like NF1 strains and some different type of super silver haze, and there's not just Jack, right? So I think there's like some old school stuff in there, some Dutch, like something. And I don't know, I'm not, or at least it's giving off that impression. I'm not sure what the strain might be, but it's definitely old school. So I'm stoked on that. I should have brought a couple reds. Yeah,
couple reds.
Yeah, but then you'd be super paranoid.
I'm already trying to roll my
You're racing over here.
Yeah, and then there's one Osamine entry, which it smells like that tropical sleigh ride kind of stuff. Who knows what it is, but it's got that nose to it. Yeah, you'll see like in that category some of the strains for the listeners, like Green Crack and things like that. Dream Queen, things like that. You'll see those in that kind of category. So,
oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, bringing back the old school stuff, man.
Yep.
Okay, I got some Stony Baloney questions. You ready for this?
I was made for Stony Baloney. Let's go.
Okay, 3 famous people that you can have in your circle. Who do you pick to smoke with?
Dead or alive, right?
Dead or alive.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Right off the top.
Yeah.
That was a heavy hitter. That was a big one.
I got some.
Damn. Dude, okay, so man, that's tough, dude. That's a tough one. 3 right off the top. Dave Chappelle would be fucking hilarious.
That would be good.
Dave Chappelle, because he's smart and fucking hilarious, and that would be a dope one to smoke with. And then let's see, who else? I need a musician. I need someone that can play tunes.
Bob.
I got mine.
Bob's
I got my 3.
Yeah.
But like the philosopher.
Devin the dude. Devin,
dude.
Devin's my guy.
Little doobie ashtray.
Bring Mac Dre back.
I turned 40 on April 19th, and so Devin's been a big part of my life my whole life since '96, dude. I've gone to a bunch of his concerts out here, but Devin would be number 2. Got the musician, and then let's see, artist, someone that can make something. I need an artist. Can't think of an artist right now. It's top.
That's like a question you need to like sleep on.
Yeah, I could go either way with it, but I need an artist. Someone that can do something crazy. I gotta think about it. Come back.
I can go to another question.
Yeah, I'll think about the artist.
You got to take 3 seeds of herb to an island. Only 3 seeds. Which ones? Yeah. Stony Baloney questions. Okay.
Yeah.
What seeds? What strains do you bring to that island?
Pure Kush, PK. I need the original PK in my life for sure. And then I'm gonna need
daytime and nighttime.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
and then
for sure.
like an old school haze, like an old school haze strain. Pick one, something like that. Super Silver would be a good one. And then for third, oh man, I would have to say probably the Jack, just because I love it for concerts. Jack's one of my favorites for going out and doing shit.
A nice uppity,
sweet
flavor.
That's just knowing the medicine. That's just knowing how
for sure.
to
I could say Blue Dream, because like Blue Dream's like an island strain for me. I could smoke Blue Dream every day. Obviously, it got blown up and it was like, oh, it got played out. But if you find a good Blue Dream, you're like, man, you get high as shit.
Yeah,
and you're gonna grow a lot of it.
Yeah, Fig Farms has a cross. Fig Farms has a
yielder.
cross. Shout out to Keith and the gang over there at Fig Farms. They have a Lucid Blue cross, and that's a Blue Dream cross, and it is, you're not doing shit for the rest of the day when you smoke it. Like, it is nice. And so for me, like something like that, like a nice blueberry haze, old school blueberry haze. Yeah. Island weed. If you're going to be on an island, you got to have some island weed.
You got to grow that sativa.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey.
It'll grow well out there.
Yeah. What else you got?
Did you think of your person? Your last person?
I'm stoned
Your
now, so I'm
artist?
trying to think.
Yeah.
I keep losing.
Your
I'm trying to think of my artist.
Who you guys got?
I already got it.
Oh, go, E.
Snoop Dogg,
Okay.
Martha Stewart,
Snoop's a good
shit.
one.
And Willie
And also
Nelson.
them two
They're already
together.
homies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am
I
so
got
about
it.
that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I got
And
it.
Willie Nelson.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I'd smoke with Willie.
Solid.
Yeah.
for sure. Bob Ross, dude. Let me get Bob.
Yeah.
Ross. Let me get Bob Ross.
That would
dude.
be a really great
If we
fucking
could get
circle.
stoned and have him paint some happy little trees, dude, I'd be fucking. I had to pull that one out of my ass.
I was
right
stuck
there.
on my
Bob
TV
Ross,
one
bro,
time
let's
for a
go.
long time.
Yeah.
The painter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's got
the man.
skills.
Yeah, absolutely. Bob would be like, that's the easy one, right? Like I still have
His
every
philosophy,
poster.
I just
for
appreciate
sure.
so much. And it's like,
I still have every poster I have from a kid, like in my closet. I refuse to throw them away.
Yeah.
Like he was a big
Yeah,
part
man.
of my life growing
For
up.
sure.
Like everyone's
Yeah.
first stoner hero.
Man,
Yeah.
What's your favorite Bob album?
Great culture.
Ooh.
Ooh. I like that.
Now I'm coming with the questions. I'll flip it
Yeah.
around on you.
I see you. I wasn't even ready for that.
Uprising.
Uprising is a good one.
Kaya is another good one. Oh,
I love Rastaman Vibration, dude.
Rastaman.
That's like my shit. Dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That one's more dry. I feel
Babylon
like.
by
number was
Bus too, all
Yeah.
live.
This is
126.
the purple one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Citrus Turbs.
Actually, the Survival album.
I
Yeah,
think I still
go.
like the
That's the
first
one.
joint.
Hmm?
The first one?
The first one.
Like the first one the most?
I think so. I don't know. I'll
You
find
think
out
so?
now.
You have to know. You can't.
Yeah, this one tastes completely different.
Yeah, way different.
Yeah.
Which one's this?
That's the purple
That's that
one.
purple
Yeah.
one. Okay, that's the one I wanted to roll up.
D126.
Yeah, so that's, I'm wondering, always wait till after the competition. I'm
Document.
super
That's
curious
item
to little
9.
test. I'm curious to see what the dominant terpene is in that. But yeah,
Yeah.
we have Mark Lewis on the team. He's the creator of Phytofax. He's a brilliant scientist. He's on the judging team this year. He helped build that whole criteria for SC Labs, and now he's a part of the contest. And it's like, we got some terp wizards on the team, dude.
Yeah, that's a mine right there.
Yeah.
That's a mine.
Yeah, he's the
yeah.
man, dude.
It's a
yeah.
lot of knowledge.
So much knowledge.
Like, and what, just
based
thinking about how many
flower,
people who do
cannabis.
this in one room, like, that's just so much knowledge.
Yeah, no, that's everyone prides themselves on what they know and stuff. But I think every year, at least for me personally, I feel like I level up being in that room. It's like,
Well, I think it just serves you also just throughout your career, just
Yeah.
gaining more knowledge every
Networking.
year. Yeah,
Yeah.
networking, just knowing
Yeah.
people and also knowing who to ask questions.
Who you
If
know.
something comes up and you're like, hold on,
yeah, and
let me phone a
You,
friend.
you know the person. Yeah.
Let me phone a friend.
yeah, and you
I
you
like
find
that.
out like you have
Love
like
it.
your public persona, right? And then
Yep.
you find out when you're in the room, like everyone's just a weed nerd. That
Yeah.
heart,
Mhm.
that's like kind of curious. They nerd out on every little thing, and it's a lot of fun. And then like everyone's just on the same level playing field. It's a blast. Can't wait to see them.
Hell yeah.
It's time to wrap it up.
Wrap it up,
Yeah,
dude.
because it's a
man.
beautiful day and I can't be in the studio all day.
Rolling more joints.
Yeah,
We got,
I
we
like.
got 10 more to go, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but can I smoke some of these outside? You know
For
what I
sure,
mean? It's a
for
beautiful
sure.
day.
It's gonna be a warm one too.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, hell
yeah,
yeah.
it's
I'm
80
here
right
for
now.
it.
Yep.
Hey,
Ready for that summer.
I appreciate you guys having me on, dude.
Joe,
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you for being
Yeah.
here.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah,
bro.
real.
yeah, appreciate
And thank you
guys,
for
man.
sharing.
thank
Yeah,
you.
you've had some of my friends on in the
Yeah.
past, and I'm proud of you, dude. And happy for you guys to be able to give everyone a voice. So
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
appreciate
Amazing.
it. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
One love, one harvest.
Out.
Uh,
Until next time.
Later.
Hey.